sweating.
This is about delivering great exclusive games for you that ship on platforms where Game Pass exists.
Where Game Pass exists. Keywords. Thanks, Phil, for stopping by again. We do appreciate it. Thanks for everybody in the chat. You first and foremost for stopping by and powering the show. Real Deal Xbox Podcast. For those that don't know, Tuesday nights. That's the night. Thanks to everyone here, obviously. Paul, Lethal Papa, Moderator, Boss Mod, Spider-Man 365, 356. You changed it up. Douglas, of course, we got Nico, and we got Dragon Gaming. Thank you guys. Dark CMF, shout out to you, brother. All of you. Want to shout out all of you, but we got to get into some topics, some shout outs. And obviously, this is Guardians of the Galaxy on Xbox Series X. And I don't give a fuck what resolution it's at. This shit looks fire. It looks really good. Like we said, resolution wasn't the name of the game with this generation. It's all about frames and effects. And obviously, this game is not as optimized as it could be. But it looks phenomenal. We're going to get into a ton of really good topics. We got some great topics tonight, guys. So let us know your thoughts in the chat as we go. And we're going to do some introductions real quick. We've got D-Batch. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. We got some really interesting topics. I'm like just... man, I'm just ready to go, man. So let's go.
Spider-Man, what the fuck? We've also got Fonzarelli. Fonzarelli!
Hey, what's up? Good to be here. No, it's, you know what? It's Tuesday. I'm sitting here with some fries in my face, and I'm like, okay. Eating on the podcast this week.
That's a little fucked up, but you know, you're right. It's not healthy though. Zucker's fine. It's carrots, you know, those are fries.
Yeah, I know, but they're fries. Fries are good. Anyway, I'm here and ready to talk about Guardians, especially. Man. When
how's
we
it
get
look?
into that, oh, it looks great, man. Guardians is amazing. Might be my game of the year.
How's it look on the podcast right now? The footage, how's it coming through?
Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
There's a pretty good there. What the fuck?
Yeah, it does look pretty good, but you know, I've had an issue. Speaking of that, I put footage in my latest video with Guardians, talking about Guardians, and
your footage is dark as hell.
It's the DVR Xbox.
Is this too bright? Because I can dim it. So.
No, it just the Xbox DVR just needs work.
I'm talking about this right here on the podcast.
No, it looks good. It looks fine. It's fine. It doesn't represent, nothing you can do can represent the way the game actually looks.
I'm trying to get close, bitch. Hey, we've also got Zauker, brother. How you been?
Pretty good. Got some baby carrots, you know. I actually went to the store today during lunch to go get baby carrots. I'm not even joking. I looked in the fridge, didn't have any. I came back. I was like, oh, hell no. So I went and got some baby carrots, and now I'm just chilling, man. Look at Guardians. This game is so good. I'm glad I made it with my own two hands and recommended it to everybody before it came out.
This is turning into the Foodie Podcast. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm about to get some new members, chat. Let us know who the runners up are. Obviously, we've got...
I heard this guy, Colt Eastwood's pretty good.
I'm back.
Tim, what's going on, bro?
Really happy to be here. We got a really good show lined up. We're going to set some things straight like we always do. Bring you the best podcast going, and can't wait. I'm really excited today.
Oh shit, the best podcast going. I always say the best one at Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central.
Hey!
Oh my God, Fonz. Stop it. As we look through the catalog in Guardians of the Galaxy, the music. Anyway, this ain't the Guardians of the Galaxy podcast, believe it or not. If you're here, guys, do appreciate you. Hit the like button. Share it out. We do appreciate you more than you know. And I want to do some patron tier shout outs real quick. We have Terrific Straight G11, second week in a row. Got that correct. Dave Incubus, Ricky Falan, Faultline Z, Nasai like Bad Boy Live, Achievement, Nano Polymath, Zord, Costanza, KY Bob, who was on the show last week. Goose 8402, Strawhead Khalifa, Assassin Lupa, who is feeling better. For those asking, Assassin Lupa is feeling good, and she's getting back to her old self. Was in a party today. It was great. So shout out to her. She's in the chat. She should be. Foreign Object, Gabqueeze, Teo, John Blue, Beckball, Steven X, Real Deal Neil, Suicide King, Texas Genie, Michael Bowen, Guillermo Cavillo, All Might, Dark CMF, and Alfonso Hogan. You guys are, how else can I say it? Fucking awesome. Thank you for doing what you do. As we talk about one of the biggest, well, one of the stupidest things I've seen in a minute, Xbox Game Pass is encouraging Xbox fans not to buy games. Now, I wanted to bring this up. I don't know if anybody else saw this narrative going on Twitter, and it'll be a fast one, but it's something I want the chat to get fired up on because I want your perspectives on this because for some reason people keep using UK physical sales, which is less than a percentage. It's less than 1% of game sales. They keep using UK physical sales as a reference for how well Xbox is doing in a non-physical age, primarily for Xbox gamers. It's proven in what is a PlayStation dominated territory as a reference to how Xbox games are doing. Now I get that some guys, and I've heard it. Hey, I'm going to see if Guardians will go to Game Pass, but usually those are the same people that would wait for a sale or wait for something like that to happen anyway, right? People who are going to buy Guardians are probably going to buy it because they're hearing great things about it. But is it time for this damn narrative to kind of at least be fully informed, at least tell people that it represents like a fraction of a percent of game sales and it's only UK in a PlayStation dominant area? Or why do people even point to this? Why does the UK even still report this shit? How many game stores are there even in the UK? We got some guys in the UK watching. Let us know. Where do you buy your games? Are you physical? Are you physical? Are you digital? And Zalker, is it time for this narrative to just die already? Like to just shut the fuck up already?
This narrative was fucking dead like 3 years ago. Like, people are so stupid. Like
No, it's not. It's
they're
not
talking
dead.
about
Not
like
dead.
dude. I mean, they're just sitting there talking about it when in reality, everybody that's talked about Game Pass, and I'm not talking about people. Like, yeah, we all know the value. I'm talking about developers, like the Back 4 Blood developer, Back 4 Bed. They literally just talked about it and said how Game Pass has really helped them get that like basically that foundation they needed in the game, and it's like done wonders for them. And it's like they're talking about like, yeah, this is a big game for us. This is a massive game, and Game Pass really helped us push that. And I don't know, like to me, I don't know if anybody's noticed that Game Pass advertisements, Back 4 Blood or Bed, whatever, is one of the most advertised I've seen on the service. And it's because so many people play it. So not only do big developers like it, small developers like it. And that's the other narrative I would see that's kind of tied into this. People would say, oh, well, it's good for small indie developers. Yeah, but not the big ones. Well, the big ones are coming out and talking about it too. Destiny is on there too, right? Everything's coming on there. Like that's the whole point of this. And saying that, oh, this percentage of people bought it, like shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Aren't the
Like,
guys that
18,
are
like,
going
dude.
on the service, aren't they the ones signing the actual contracts and deciding that they like the amount of money on the offer, so they're saying yes, you can have. It's not like Microsoft is playing flag football and every time they catch someone, they're like, all right, now we get your game. Like, no, these motherfuckers are coming up to him being like, we had Joe, Halo Infinite developer, right? Worked on the game for almost half a decade, saying that he would love for Song of Iron to be on there, right? We've heard from multiple big developers like the guys behind Dirt saying that it fucking dramatically boosted Dirt 5 in every aspect. He said that he expected a drop off after a week or a two. No, like at the end of the day, these guys make their own decisions. And for cringy fucks to come on and tell people what they should do and how people and developers are doing this, even though the developers are bitch smacking them every time they say this. It's just.
I will say that I am seeing more and more people stating, I'm going to wait to see if this game goes on Game Pass. Every time a new multi-plat comes out, I do see more and more of that on Twitter. But we are a small minority of gamers. We don't know how many out there are actually saying that.
And that's what I said at the
outside of
beginning.
this
Like, yes,
community.
there are people that are saying that.
But yeah. But I think maybe this has more to do with the fact that maybe if you have Game Pass, maybe people are just invested in Game Pass right now and are really playing a lot more games because of Game Pass. Maybe Xbox guys are trying new games they probably wouldn't have tried before and getting hooked on games, playing, and not really necessarily feeling like, I got to buy this right now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's happening too.
I'm telling you
It's
right
a
now,
little
if
bit
you
of
are a
everything,
fan
but I
of
would
Guardians
bet
or
that
Marvel games or superhero games and you're waiting for this shit to get Game Pass, don't fucking wait. This is a game that you need to play right now.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Well, it's
but
not a maybe. It's not a maybe, Fonz. Like Sarah Bonds talked about this. She had a big a big thing like 2 years ago talking about this. How 60% of people that are on Game Pass tried games they never played. They brought up the puzzler.
Like
Like
what I'm
and
saying
40,
is like
today,
and,
actually.
and,
40%
and also
of them buy it.
And also, it's making more people go digital as well. And we're talking about strictly physical sales here. And I'd go out on a limb and say, and it's really not out on a limb, but I'd say there's probably more physical PlayStation gamers out there than Xbox.
I
You know?
agree. I agree. I think it's a digital age. Like I can't remember the last time that I bought a physical game. Maybe it was Ratchet and Clank or something because I knew I was gonna beat it and just trade it in to get something else. But for the most part, I'm just going digital, and most people are going digital, and we know that they don't really track those sales. And it's just a digital era, especially with the SSDs that we have in these consoles. I know at least on Microsoft's side, and I know it's been like this for a while, that a lot of Microsoft gamers have been getting their games digital because this is a lot. There's just more perks to do it with the Play Anywhere and all the other incentives, of course, Game Pass. So it's I don't know. I don't want to say physical is dead because physical will always be around. There's going to be people that always want a physical copy. But at the same time, the majority of gamers are going digital. And this nonsense with Game Pass, like, dealer's right. Like, are these guys being like held at gunpoint, telling them to sign the dotted line? They're not. They're signing it. They're happy to do it. Obviously, they see what they're gonna get up front, and they're happy with it, and they sign for it. And of course, you got DLC. You got people that want to buy the game at a discounted price, or maybe someone's friends over at the house are playing the game and they go and purchase the game. It's a success. I'll give you an example. Forza Horizon. I want to get the expansion pack. The expansion pack is discounted, first of all. Second, I get to play the game five days early. So
aren't they trying to break
like
up the different editions of Forza and saying that to get the full one you need a Game Pass? It's like, are you guys fucking stupid? You can buy it for $60, and if you want the expansions like every other game of its type has, then you can buy those too.
Like what I gotta say, I think this is just honestly, I think this is all encompassing, just a fear mongering thing. I think this is just people trying to fear monger. Like, and I'm not even talking about just the game sales. Everybody's like, look at the game. Like, who cares? Like, shut up. We don't
have a fraction of data for one.
Like, it's not even just the data. I'm talking about, like, I feel like they're sitting there thinking, like, they have this image in their head that a suit, not Phil Spencer, a suit for Microsoft walks in and says, your game's on Game Pass. Too bad. Like that's it. And it's not like that. Like, these people have relationships. Like, they talk about even the developers being bought or somebody getting acquired. People are like, well, Microsoft's just flying, like going. It's like, no, dude, it's relationships. Obsidian Entertainment got offered to be bought before Microsoft did. And they turned them down, even with all their well-known recorded financial troubles. They were like, yeah, we had trouble keeping the lights on. They turned down an acquisition because
we're gonna need some rats out of the sewer instead of getting bought by these guys.
Yeah, no, they were like, dude, the developer said, hey, we're having trouble. Like, the publisher, they didn't name names, said they were having trouble getting people to hire them onto this game. We would like to put you on it and acquire you. And they said no. They were like, no. And then Xbox came and said, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, literally, like, do what you want. And that's what he said. It's like, I quote, you have to have a beer with these people if you want to be acquired. And that's what it was. It's a friendship. It's a relationship. And this is the same thing with Game Pass. They're building relationships with the multiple third-party studios, multiple third-party publishers.
I don't even want to talk about this shit much longer. The point is it's fear-mongering shit.
No. There's one last thing I have to add to this.
What else?
We're talking about what other people are talking about when it comes to Game Pass and buying games and stuff. The one thing I keep hearing now is people are out there saying, hey, Game Pass has saved me so much money, I'm buying more games. And the same thing for me. Like, when I look at a multi-plat game, I'm not thinking, oh, can I afford this, or do I want to pick this up? I'm more inclined to buy it because Game Pass has satisfied my gaming needs.
And that's not even an opinion or specific. Sarah Bond herself, Microsoft have already said sales increase when games get engagement like this, right? So it's these guys on Twitter, not only fear-mongering, but going directly against developers and publishers and trying to fear-monger their audience. And that's the kind of people they attract, ignorance. So at the end of the day,
it's all about games dying.
I like to give a shout out to everybody in the chat for suffering through that one. Your IQs all just went down, and we're gonna raise him back up with some chat comments here. One from Flapjack Juice. Shout out to you, brother. He said Guardians looks fire. Time for a great show. # back for bed. Shout out to you, brother. And then we got Mr. Murder Mittens. I think I got that right? Mr. Murder Mittens. Shout out to him. He says next year is when it's all going to hit home. Yeah, we got a ton of games coming out next year. That's another thing people don't really think about. This is just the beginning. So I think we can all agree that he's right. Hargeet in the super chat says, why does this matter? Well, because it's a bunch of bullshit, misinformation that's been proven wrong. These guys continue to go back. But he says, which studio is going out of business because they're on Game Pass. As a matter, I've heard the opposite. I've heard Game Pass has helped save studios. He says ponies are reaching because of. I think they're reaching because of envy, and I think he's correct. I think they're a little jealous.
Our Game Pass look like it's killing the industry,
even though PlayStation now is literally trying to do the same shit. So
yeah,
I like it.
Exactly.
I'm a big fan.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll come back. I'll come back to some of these guys, but definitely big shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. We are getting up close to 1,000 already here. We do appreciate it. Let's get into some topics that you'll enjoy because I think that's the ones we want to hear about. Let's go ahead and talk about this Sega Xbox deal, and I think we got bigger topics than this for sure. But I wanted to get to this one early because it's one a lot of people are talking about right now. And I want to know Tim's thoughts on the Sega Xbox deal because everybody loves Tim. Tim, go. What's happening? Give the people the context. Tell them what you think's happening.
Well, I mean, I talked about a pre-show with D, and I know he's really passionate about it. But listen, I saw a lot of stuff on Twitter, and a lot of people making conclusions or saying you can't say this and you can't say that, saying it's the same deal as Sony. So what I did specifically was, you know what? I'm going to use one of my get out of jail cards or whatever you want to call it. And I asked people who would know, and their answer to me was this was Sarah Bond's team's deal. She's in charge of all this. It is about Xbox, and their PR, Sega's PR, highlighted us, unbeknownst to us knowing, which means that they're super excited, and we're really excited that they did that because they're really excited about making games using the Azure cloud. That is the truth of the matter. This is not the same deal as Sony. This is not anything like that. These are totally different things. This means games. Now, I'm not going to go further into that and say, is it going to be exclusive or any of that stuff? That stuff, we're not at that point yet. But what's going to happen is they're going to use their awesome developers at Sega, and I'm assuming that Xbox is going to send a team of ATG over there, and they're going to work on making a super game in the cloud, whether it uses cloud destructions, whether it uses hosting multiplayer servers.
I think this is like an experimental games development team right now.
Yeah. If you listen, all I'll say is this, and then I'll let you guys talk about it, because I know D has a lot of points about it. If you watch Stadia's reveal, and they show the games that they plan on making using the cloud technology, will give you an idea of what Sega could be doing with Xbox.
Yeah.
And from there, I'm just let it for the panel. That's the truth of the matter.
Let me give you a quote.
Go ahead.
Sarah Bond had at least something a little bit to say about this, but I do want to follow that up. I do think that this is basically an experimental games studio right now. And your reference to Stadia, I like it because it's going to take a lot of manpower to work on this kind of stuff for years and iron this stuff out. And they need a big group to do this kind of stuff. So I think they're experimenting with the cloud a lot and trying to bring you something probably a little different, a little new, make advancements in that sector. And Sarah Bond does say, she said this on Twitter actually, she said they're going to create novel gaming experiences using Azure. And that's the most that she's actually officially willing to say. But there's no reason that they're going to be using Azure unless they're doing some kind of prototype, cutting edge type shit. Look at what Sega's done recently. Not a whole lot that people are coveting. They did buy the guys. Didn't they buy the guys that made Persona? Atlas or something, right? Don't they own Atlas?
They've been very Sega's been very diligent with their PC development. Like Warhammer Total War, which is a very successful RTS game. They did Creative Assembly, did Halo Wars 2, right? They helped make Age of Empires 4 with Relic Entertainment. Yeah. So again,
been largely supporting,
Yeah, but all those things. Then Phantasy Star Online, right? Remember 2 came to Xbox first as a console, And so a lot of these things that are Sega, like this partnership, I feel like, we've been talking about this for a while, Sega, but it's because they've been collaborating so well together. And I think that relationship cultivated to this now, right? Where we're talking about Stadia. And I don't think it's just the making games through Azure. I think that's a big part of it, but I also think it's the MMOs need good servers, which Azure can provide. A lot of stuff that they're building is going to be centered around those servers. Like we forget that, a lot of people they just forget that like the water in Sea of Thieves is because of the servers, the cloud. Like they are able to do that because of that. They integrated it within there. So stuff like that could go into games. I'm not saying it's going to be like, oh, they're going to buy them, but these kind of relationships lead to like games like Age of Empires and all the other ones we just talked about, where they are going to get those games on console and PC and put it on Game Pass. Like this isn't just like
it won't hurt our chances of seeing more collaboration between those two, right, Dean?
No.
Yeah, my take on it is like first if you read what
some
they're
of you guys
saying,
are kind of low. Hang on, let me fix your. Tim was low and now you're kind of low, but you're at the same volume as last week. Yeah, let me turn you up a little bit. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, so I think it's much more than Azure. Like, I think they're going to share technologies. Because if you look at the way they worded their partnership and how they want to do stuff with Azure and also their development environment, I see some type of collaborations here and there. Even if it were to be a situation where they're just wanting help with the cloud and, bringing in new technologies and seeing what Microsoft has coming down the pipeline and they want to implement it into their games. At the very least, you could see that some deals would be made behind the scenes where it'd be like, okay, this title here, why don't you put this in Game Pass? Or would you like to put this in Game Pass? Or could this be a timed exclusive? Or can we have some type of promotion right on this game? There's going to be some type of wheeling and dealing. It's not just going to be so straightforward. And when people compare it to Sony's deal, we already know that Sony is not going to put any type of games on Microsoft's platform. So that's how we could rule any type of collaboration in that way out, and how it's just simply for the cloud. Now with Sega, a game company that's going to Microsoft, that's on everything, to sit there and say that Microsoft is not going to benefit from that down the road, I think is really disingenuous. Now, will they get exclusives out of it? I'm not going to go as far and say that. I think at the very least we might get some timed exclusives if they make some deals behind the scenes, but it's not going to be so straightforward. And Microsoft and Sega have been working together for a little bit now, and it's been going well, and they've progressed to the next level.
Yeah.
Now, I think it also benefits the fucking cloud. I don't know why anybody doesn't see that. The cloud it's doing good in Japan. Now, if you put Sega's games in Game Pass on the cloud in Japan, that is a win-win for both companies. So I just don't see that not happening. I see them putting some of their games on Game Pass in the cloud so people can play it in Japan. Like I've said many times before, these guys are well ahead of us in their infrastructure for 5G, for internet. They're just way beyond us that everybody has access.
They got cars with robo-roofs on them, D-Batch.
Yeah, so it's just ridiculous just to think it's just Sega's going to be using Azure,
and
that's
Sony
it.
deal you're referencing is the one from years ago, the memorandum that says Sony will put some of their multiplayer games on their servers and all that.
And the red herring is that Sarah Bond is heading this. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that makes sense. I made a video yesterday, and I just basically used the article that came out stating, what they were going to do. They're not like cut and dry about it. It's not vague per se, but they're saying they're going to use the Azure servers for Sega, games in the future. But I didn't rule out the fact that they could be making games and input those games within Game Pass as well. I mean, if everybody remembers back, I don't know when it was earlier this year, there was somebody at the head of Sega, not like the CEO, somebody else, that was talking about how they were happy with how the Yakuza series and how their other games that they implemented inside Game Pass were thriving within the service.
What? Yeah. Another developer killing these morons on Twitter?
Yeah,
wow.
You don't remember that? That was a few months back that came out.
Yeah. I'm just laughing at how many developers have to come out before these guys shut up.
They said they were really, really happy with how their games were doing inside Game Pass. So, I mean, and that was coming straight from Sega. So
I mean, they have the football manager, obviously, like a bunch of games like Yakuza, like a Dragon, Humankind. Like this has been a relationship that's been cultivated for a long time.
20 years. I mean, the original Xbox used to have Sega games exclusively. I think like Sega Race. What racing game did it? Was Sega GT or something like that? Racing and all kinds of stuff.
I just looked it up. It was February of this year. And it was
I just got a new outfit.
Sega Europe's Senior Vice President of Commercial Publishing, Anna Downing. She spoke about how Xbox Game Pass, they were seeing growth, and they were happy with the 2 Point Hospital. I don't know that game. And the Yakuza franchise, how they're thriving within the service. So
definitely.
That's out there. There's an article about it.
Let me give a few shout outs here. Dark CMS says the fact that you have to fully install something from a disc and then put the disc in to play your games anyway makes digital a no-brainer. Definitely. And then we got Carlos. He says Salty hasn't been the same since Colin. You guys are savage. And then we got Danny Passion. Shout out to you. He says Zauker, thanks for recommending Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy last show. Yes, thank you, Zauker. Zauker hypes up every game though, so you don't get no points. But seriously though, it's not like anybody here was hating on it, but we were definitely not excited for it. And God, dude, like where we in this footage, like you're gonna see this footage, and I really do go and take my time with games like this because I'm loving every minute of it. It's the banter, the stuff you're not getting in the show. The reason I'm sitting still and I'm listening to Rocket and Groot and these motherfuckers talk. It's so well done. But I got to stop it there because we'll end up going on about that shit because it's so good.
Yep.
Don Otaku, shout out to you. He says PlayStation fanboys brag about how PS4 was outselling Xbox. 6-1 in the UK, and now they're talking about these numbers without even referencing any of these numbers, right? He says they're not surprised. He says they're surprised when games don't sell as much on Xbox.
I'm looking more into this article, and it actually states that it helped propel the franchise to over 3 million players worldwide, where it was doing very well before Game Pass. Wow. And that's talking about that 2 Point Hospital. So Sega, they like Game Pass. So that
2 Point Hospital. Lord Starkiller, $10 super chat. He says ponies are just crying salty tears because Game Pass is such a great service, unlike that pathetic PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now has come a long way, though. I'll say that. They got some time to go yet. And then one more for now. Spooky Sprocket, $14.99 super chat. Shout out to you, brother. He says, good day, RDX. He says from out back in Australia. He's wrestling some kangaroos out there. He says where Zauker is up in a tree eating gum leaves like a koala, and Dealer Fonz and Tim and D are boxing kangaroos until Tim is knocked out. So thank you, brother. I do appreciate it.
I got to mention this part because this is coming from Downing again. She said she mentioned how games could even be developed within this subscription service in mind.
Yeah, of course.
So this just correlates to everything going on right now between this partnership.
So but she don't need to put no more ideas out there like that. All right, I'm not a big fan of that one. All right, Sarah Vaughn. Shout out to her.
You gotta see when you can't draw any conclusions. You don't know what it's gonna be.
No, that's what I say. But I don't like ideas like that either. We don't like those ideas, Sarah Vaughn. All right. No, I want a big polished product like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what I want.
Anything with Sarah Bond involved. And I think she's making a real big push right now as far as her standing. She's getting games, man. Whether it's through global or whether it's through this type of ventures, she's gonna be. I think we're gonna look back to this time maybe 3 years from now, and not aside from the acquisitions. She's going to be outputting a ton of games, and you're going to point to her direction and say, "Wow, look at what."
Yeah, they've got to add a lot of ton of games into there.
She's the head of publishing, business publishing, everything in partnerships.
Well, and the main reason either way, she's got more money to work with than people before her for sure.
And the main reason why I was bringing up this article as well because it's yet more publishers and developers that are liking Game Pass here. And, it's just something to really chew on because there's a lot of armchair developers out there in the Twitter space that like to, talk about how negative Game Pass is impacting the gaming industry, which is far from the truth.
Well, they're all subscribed to Game Pass.
Yeah, I do think it's silly though. A lot of people want Game Pass to go away, and they really despite themselves.
It's not a lot. It's like 10 people, bro.
Yeah, but no, but there is a portion out there, but you really can't take it seriously at this point. Game Pass is a success. I mean, they were trying to say that it's a failure because it had only 2% over a year. Year over year for content and services. Do people also realize that in 2018, that remember when everyone said, "Oh, you get $1 for your Game Pass, and you can convert it, and Game Pass only costs $1." Guess what? All those subscriptions now have maxed out, and they're paying the monthly fee of what they have to pay, $15, and they sustained those people. They kept those people.
The numbers say, yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Tim, this is what I said back then. I said they're trying to change the way you think about consuming your games, like Netflix. Whether you use it or not, you're taking the $10, $15 L, right? Because you might want to use it, and it's too good a value not to have for when you got some time to kill or when you want to play some games, right? So that's kind of what they're trying to do. They're trying to change how you think about it. But either way, let's move forward. We got some better topics in this, 100%. We got...
Okay.
Shut up, Fonz. You always fuck me up every time you do that shit. Anyway, I got a hard enough time keeping track of everything. You're over here making everything harder, Fonz. You know how it is as a host. He's just dead silent. Makes it weird. No, anyway, Sega deal's done.
Junior.
State of Play was fucking trash.
Super trash.
Fonz, what do you think about State of Play? And how underwhelming was this garbage?
Well, I said it on Twitter. I came home from work. I was excited to watch it because I know they didn't say like anything big was going to be shown, but they did say, multiplats. And I figured, okay, there's got to be some AAA multiplats shown. But no.
Why are you making assumptions for, huh?
It was a lot of indie games, which I don't hate on indie games, but the games that they showed, oh man, like nothing was for me. Nothing. Just didn't care for it. Death's Door, I love that game, but I already played it. It was already on Xbox.
Even the guys with PlayStation hats on they didn't have much to say after that.
They hated it.
I didn't care for it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it's a quick reminder of how fast something can turn around and smack the shit out of you. It's just how it is.
It was such a trash show, and it's towards the end of the year. We're getting to the biggest part of the season for game sales, for console sales, and they showed us absolutely nothing. They
showed you Bug Snacks DLC.
It was so trash. And then to make things worse,
Bug Snacks DLC.
the next day or a couple of days, I think it was the next day, they dropped Spider-Man Miles Morales. They dropped a brand new trailer on their official channel announcing that it is available on the PlayStation 4.
Spider-Man Miles Morales?
Yeah, so I don't know
the game that was built from the ground up on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
but that game's been out for a year already.
Oh, wow. Did they time exclusive year their own?
They time exclusive their own fans.
Yeah, did they just really do that? Like really?
And make no mistake, this game was not built for the PS5 and then ported to PS4. All right,
that's what they told me.
No, that's not what they did. They timed it almost exactly a year on purpose. To stagger the release.
Are we going to go back to our old episode and just reiterate how this was meant to be DLC in the first place for the game?
Look, I don't even give a fuck about none of that. I just care about how the fans were attacking us because we told them there's nothing in this game that was so different gameplay design wise where it couldn't run on the PS4. And
Well, they believe everything that Sony says, and Sony's coming out with this trailer saying that last year's hotness is now this year's hotness, and that just tells you the state that they're in for the holiday season. They have absolutely nothing.
They're going to boot up their PS4s to D-batch. They're going to play the back compat version on PS5.
Yeah, they got to advertise a game they already released. It's ridiculous, man. It's not a good time to be a Sony fan right now. I got some games in the backlog that I got to clear, so I'll be okay over the holidays. But for the hardcore guys that play their PlayStation every day, it's apart from multiplats, it's going to be pretty dry this holiday season for them. So.
They got to sell something to the people that didn't get a PS5.
Mm-hmm. Hey, speaking of people that are getting a PS5, we got 1,200 people almost already. No, shout out to almost 1,200 people already here watching this live, guys. Hit the like button if you haven't. Tell a friend. We're getting into some great topics. We started off talking about kangaroos and koala bears and PlayStation 5 and Sega.
Hey, Mike.
No, we're talking about. We're talking about.
Wait a minute. Because the chat even reminded me that Miles Morales was on the PS4.
It was, yes, it was on the PS4.
Yeah.
They re-released it.
Why'd they re-release it?
Hang on. Because I was going to say that, but I was like, hang on. Did they not release it on PS4? I thought they announced that.
They released it on the PlayStation 4. That came out at launch. It was a cross-play. But if you had the PS4 and you wanted the PS5 version of Spider-Man, you had to fork out cash to pay
So
for
what the hell is this trailer for, Zalker?
So,
Yeah.
I think the only thing they announced was that the PlayStation. I think the only thing they really announced was that the PlayStation 5 version now comes with the PlayStation 4 version.
Damn you, Jim Ryan!
Just the fact that they re-released that game and tried to play it off like it's a new game, like, hey, it's on the PlayStation 4 now. Go and grab it. It's just I don't know
Dry
what the hell
times.
they were thinking.
Dry times.
If you go and look at that post,
Maybe
that
they
Sony
added
released.
Hey, every Sony fan, Sony fans, if you're watching, just go listen to Tupac's Better Days, all right? You got some
They
better
didn't
days
add
coming.
anything. Even Sony fans, even Sony fans under that post, they were roasting Sony for that. Like they don't got anything to show, and that's pretty sad that you re-release a trailer of a game that was released a year ago, touting it like a brand new game.
Didn't they have Kena Bridge of Bridges recently though? So I mean, either way,
that's on PC. It's not an exclusive.
Oh man, crap. Well, hey, Miles Morales won't be exclusive for long. Smoking Ace, a shout out to you. Ooh. He says, oh my God, I wanted to talk about this. The new trailer for Halo, Unspoken or whatever it was called, where they had the guy had the throat scar and he couldn't talk, but he was sign languaging to one of his comrades' families. Yeah, man, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now. It was that good,
man. Like, yeah, the acting was excellent. Like when I saw it today, I was like, holy smokes, they're going all in with the production. Like for me, I'll be honest with you guys, man. Like I lost my love with Halo with the last one, and with this one, I'm just hyped to play it. I'm hoping, but I think the story will be good. Like I'll be honest with you, man. Like I'm trying to get the Halo Edition console. I got like the Elite controller. I even went out and bought some like Master Chief and like some stuff to put in the game room. Like I'm ready for Halo, man. And this video today was
better days.
There's
a new trailer today, huh?
Yeah, you gotta go watch it real quick, and then let us know your thoughts. But
well,
you get an emotional
wait to know.
Man, for sure.
I need to wait until Alex from Digital Foundry lets me know how good it is.
Well, we're going to get to that, definitely, and we're going to have some words with Alex. Alex, I just defended you and said you were an intelligent gentleman, a scholar, and you go and do this. You go and do this, Alex. Unforgivable. We're going to get to that, though. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pong Soul, shout out to you, brother, becoming a member once more with that platinum and gold badge. Looks so good. Looking good. And then we got Glasswalker. Shout out to you, brother. New channel member. Do appreciate it. Lord Starkiller, once more, $5 super chat. He says, perhaps the Sega/Microsoft partnership will give a new cloud-based Shenmue or Vanquish or Persona. Perhaps, man. Those are all insights.
Limitless possibilities.
Limitless possibilities. And then we've also got Davari. Shout out to you, brother. He said, well, let me scroll this. He says, you guys can't be happy about the Sega deal. Oh, wait, maybe he said we can be happy. No, he says we can't be happy about the Sega deal. But other fans can lose their minds about, well, I mean, it's not a made-up deal, sir. He says he can be happy about a made-up deal with Netflix or Kojima making Abandoned. So here's the thing. Here's the joke. Sony guys ran with every single bullshit narrative they could ever think of, including the one from Abandoned, the one from Netflix, the Kojima stuff. But when Sega officially announces, this is what Davari's getting at, that's why it's funny. So when Sega officially comes out with something and says, we're working with Microsoft on some next level shit, we don't know like what it is exactly, or blah, blah, blah. No one's allowed to be happy for that, right?
No.
He's right. And then KY Bob, member for 25 months. He says, great show. Do appreciate it, brother. We're going to get into some more super chats. One more. Meat Puppet says, any chance we could actually get a Golden Sun or Crazy Taxi and Next Gen Systems? Keep up the good work. Golden Sun, which game was that? That sounds very familiar.
Crazy Taxi, though. Yeah, man. Give me a new.
There is an
version of
indie
it.
game out there, kind of like Crazy Taxi. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's basically a direct ripoff. You could probably Google that, or Zalker probably played it this month for Gamerscore.
Bitch, don't even go there.
He's like, ah!
Mr.
Anyway.
Mushroom player.
Yeah, Mushroom Savior.
Whatever the fuck it was.
Yep.
You played
Save
for
my gamer
for
score. I'll save it.
6 minutes, 30,000. Like, what the hell, dealer?
It's 3,000, bitch. Not 30,000. And the week I did that, I literally made fun of it on the show, brought it up. Nobody brought it up but me. And I said, look, this is why gamer score don't mean what it did. All right. This is why you go through and say, all right, you got AAA gamer score. Or does it, whatever. As long as it's not PC, I don't care. Cause fucking fonts. Sounds just like fonts. Sounds like Colt's really here when you did that. Anyway, shout out to 1,300 people already here watching us, guys. I do appreciate it. We're getting into some really good topics here. And, God, when you brought that up, Fonz, it made me want to skip right to it. But we can't. We got another topic or so. I can't wait for it, though. Here's another one, right? Sony form a PC division because they totally don't plan on bringing all their games to PC.
No, they don't. They don't.
What's that? What's that called? What's the official description of what they formed, D-Batch? The Legion of PC.
I think it's PlayStation PC LLC or whatever. So basically the writing, it's been on the wall for quite some time now. It's official. These guys having a PC division, they're bringing their games. Like we have Days Gone already.
Nixus as well.
Yep, we have Days Gone. We have Horizon Zero Dawn.
Uncharted, all of them.
Uncharted is coming. Death Stranding, kind of, I guess you can say that.
It was published by Sony, yeah.
God of War is coming. The next
Sackboy is rumored.
Yeah, the next logical thing is the Spider-Man collection.
And
obviously.
Last of Us is rumored too.
It's gonna come. Listen, guys on the PC, I said this in my video, and I don't know, people need to get their head out their asses. PC gamers and console gamers are two different groups. Okay, if I want a game on PC, I want a game on there because I want the highest graphic fidelity. I want to get the new RTX 5000, whatever. I want to have the option to do that. So I game on PC, and console isn't necessarily, like I'm just hypothetically saying, is not necessarily a choice for me. Now, there's some guys on PC that might say, okay, you know what? I actually want to play that game. I'll grab the console. But those guys are very few and far between. However, if you release your games into that ecosystem, those guys are going to eat up those games, and that's another source of revenue. Sony is in this to make money. And Sony basically is saying, F your feelings, we want to make money. And to be honest with you, it's actually good for the ecosystem. It's good for the Sony fan base because it ensures that some of your games will get sequels, your player base increases, the longevity of the game increases, the reach of the game increases. They're making more money. It's more people get to enjoy a good game. Like when I see a good movie, I want to tell my buddy about that movie and say, hey, go see that movie. I don't know why PlayStation guys say, you know what? You can see that movie, but you gotta come over to my house to see it. Like, that's just ridiculous. Let people enjoy games where they want, man. It's at the end of the day, it's about money, and it's about making the game as successful as it can be. And this is the way to do it. They see Microsoft doing it, and they don't want to lose out on that money. Bottom line.
It's funny that they don't see the writings on the wall, especially when they started releasing games onto PC. Then they went ahead and opened a Steam storefront. And then now they're saying, okay, we're going to change this mobile, LLC to now PlayStation PC LLC. And now it's like, okay, they've announced God of War coming. And that right there, just the fact that they announced God of War is coming, that's like their biggest franchise. So,
I'm surprised they didn't name it Sony totally not bringing their games to PC LLC.
They bought Nixus. I forgot to say that. Yeah, they had bought Nixus, a PC porting studio. It all freaking just leads to one thing, people.
Yeah.
I don't understand why it's not even like.
It's okay.
Some of these
We're
guys
harping
are
on this a lot. We are, chat, and I can hear some of you now. We are, and this is because we got attacked over it for years, 4 years, saying this.
Yeah.
We're getting attacked by hang on a second. We're getting attacked by complete morons.
Okay.
Every single week over this,
guys. I looked into this, dealer, and I told you the other day, our second episode of RDX
started in 2017.
4 years ago, 2017. You were stating how all those games were going to go to PC one day.
whether it's 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, every single thing that I've ever said about Sony is going to happen, including day and date. So
it's coming.
And then too, I had that stipulation then too. Let us 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, everything will be day and date on PS Now. Like that's just what's going to happen. So these guys are just now catching up. It's only because they got bitch smacked by it. Either way, you know.
I see some of them trying to walk it back, like, oh, okay,
it's a
with
great
it being
idea
on PC. Yeah, I think it's good. Like you weren't saying that 5 months. I've seen some crappy posts out there, like really crappy posts,
like shitty gamer posts,
really crappy
shitty channel, shitty gamers,
where people are saying, hey, if Sony's never gonna do that, if God of War goes to PC, I'm gonna go to Nintendo. Like
go to Nintendo. I'm gonna go climb in the ball pit at McDonald's.
So outside of the idiots that saw it coming but didn't want to admit it because they live in a delusional world. What we have to realize is that Sony themselves, the CFO of Sony, talked about this and said, yeah, we're going to be allocating more resources to PC gaming and mobile, like a lot. Like they're going to fund this. And I said this, was it last week or the week before? I said, I'm not too sure when it'll be day and date. And I said it might take till the middle of the generation. It might take a little while. But after hearing that, and then seeing God of War come in, and then seeing all the rumors about Last of Us, and then Ghost of Tsushima, this shit might happen a lot faster than people think.
It is.
I mean, and then Jim Ryan talking the way he's talking.
It'll happen exactly as fast as I said. 2 years.
Hashtag whole slate.
It'll come really quick. And I think that they see that the PS5 is selling at 10 mil or 13 mil, wherever it's at. And they're like, well, we can get all those people plus the people on PC. I just see it happening a lot sooner, especially since they're buying more people. And it's not just the studios they buy. They've hired a lot of people into their studios, much like Xbox has. Game developers are high in demand. And that's the whole point.
Brian DiDomenico says, don't knock those ball pits now.
Let me say this real quick. I think Sony is I think they want to make money, obviously, but I think they're forced to do this earlier than maybe they were perhaps prepared to be, because Microsoft is really getting a foothold in the PC market right now. Before, people didn't want to mess with Microsoft, they didn't want to mess with their store, and Game Pass has totally changed that. And as well, their games are also on Steam. So if you don't want to deal with their store, you can go buy the stuff on Steam. And they're forced to, because if they don't, they're going to be left behind. So
even if they don't make the big move to say day and date, a 6-month staggered window would be huge, and they'd make a lot of money from that.
It doesn't matter. Like, the point is to get shit out there to a bigger audience. They don't care about a staggering.
They actually would, if you think about it.
They don't, because they've seen it done with Microsoft. It makes zero difference.
Their peak sales on PS5. And say that they're concentrating on their device, their platform.
You know why they don't
stagger it and put it over to the.
Look, Microsoft
PC.
don't even care, and they don't charge you twice for the shit.
Listen,
no, you know why they don't care. You know why they don't care about staggering fonts is because right now God of War is $50. So they do care about it, because they're gonna have to put the price down on the game on PC.
It's gonna hit the consumers in two different ways. Yeah,
it's not gonna happen.
The staggering is
why
only
they would stagger it, because they would have to have two different prices.
No, the doctor's point is the game is still almost full price on the PlayStation.
Listen, I believe the staggering is only to appease some of the hardcore fans, because they're not stupid. They know that they gotta warm these guys into it, because they've been cuddling these guys forever on that. But the reason why I don't think it benefits them as a staggered release, I think now, because some of these games have sequels coming out, so it makes sense to release some of these games, get the PC market. Hold on a second, get the PC market invested in it, right? So when the sequel comes out, like, okay, I played the first one, I want to play the second one. Now, the reason why I don't think staggered is going to be their final approach to this is because when the game is hot and the game is freshly out, like I've said previously, PC guys are not going out to get a fucking PlayStation or an Xbox. Some of them might, but they are a small fucking minority. So if out of 10, 1 does it, out of 10, 8 or 7 of them would buy the fucking game. So
they would wait 6 months. Yeah.
No, let me jump in.
Say we wait 6 months to buy their other Well, their other
Let me
game,
finish my
motherfucker.
point. My point is that if they release it day and date, they're gonna have a much higher penetration because their game is hot. Releasing it 6 months after the game comes out, of course they're gonna get some sales because
No, they would
people are on their
infuriate-
platform.
Anyway, who cares at this point? At this point, like,
No. The
this
reason
might
why
be
I'm
why
saying
my
this
volume
is
was so
if
much
you
higher
think
than
about
everyone
a
else's last week, chat. You know, because motherfuckers keep talking.
If you see a $70 price point for the PlayStation 5, you're going to infuriate the PlayStation 5 gamers because they're paying 70 while day and date the PC's getting it at 50. They're not going to. That's not going to fly.
That's
No,
the way it.
time
That's
out.
hold on a second. That's the way it is. So you play on PC,
It's
you
not
pay
gonna fly.
extra. Hold on a second.
Battlefield's
You play on
doing it too
PC,
this year, though.
You pay extra for the hardware to have all the fucking bells and whistles. That is a perk of playing on PC. You get the games cheaper. They cannot price their games the same as they do on the console. Microsoft doesn't do it. They can't do it because PC players, their games are cheaper. So the games have to be cheaper.
D-Bat spitting on the mic.
That.
It'll be staggered.
If they have their game at $50 and reach fucking 3 million gamers, or they have that game at fucking $70 and reach 1 million gamers, what do you think makes more? So that's not gonna fly. Their games are gonna be cheaper on PC. Period. God of War,
Yeah.
I already purchased it.
Yep.
I paid like 38 fucking US dollars for that game on PC.
I agree with
Hold
that.
on. So I don't think so. Hold on. I want to talk about something. You're saying that they're coddling the hardcore fan. They don't give a fuck about the hardcore.
They just roasted them over
I'm
fire.
sorry.
It's not
Hold
about
on.
hardcore.
Let me finish. The hardcore fans don't matter. Those people are not the ones that we're talking about that care about going to PC and cry to the heavens. Like they don't care. They don't matter. They don't. That was just an excuse. They felt like important, self-important. They're like, yeah, well, they're going to irritate us. They don't give a flying fuck. The reason why they didn't put it on PC to begin with is because they didn't have the infrastructure. They didn't have the manpower. They didn't have the people to do it yet. Now they do because they're investing the money into it. So the hardcore and these idiots that you see on Twitter Spaces talking about Xbox all day instead of PlayStation,
Or
those
playing
people don't
games.
matter. Or yeah, they don't play games either at all. Those people don't matter. What they care about is the business. They care about reaching those people on PC, on Steam. And what I'm saying about why it's not going to be staggered is the $50 price tag. Because once it comes out day and date, they can charge the 60 or the 70 because it's a hot new game. The reason why they're charging 70 is because it's an older game right now. Or 50 is because it's an older game. They can't charge it.
So you're thinking that they'll charge $60 or $70 on
Anyway,
PC?
the show is going to be too long talking about this
that
shit
won't work.
again.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think so.
why is
That
everyone
won't
so
work
hot about
either.
this topic right now? Like,
Yeah, that's
it's
not
common
right.
sense. It's eventually all going to release everywhere, like Microsoft. I already told you. Jim Ryan crawled through Phil Spencer's window and stole his diary. Dear diary, today we released everything on PC. It was great. Like, that's what they're doing. Jim Ryan don't get just slap the Fruity Pebbles out of Jim Ryan's hand. The motherfucker don't get no credit. He looked over and said, what the fuck? And they saw Phil Spencer making money. And that's what happened. So when you say it's a good idea for Sony to do X, Y, and Z, give all the credit to Philly Phil, because that's what they're copying, okay? Ain't Sony no original ideas here. So anyway,
just so people know, the PC games when they first come out, they're not cheaper. It's $60. Red Dead Redemption was $60.
That's not true.
you
That's
can
not
get workarounds.
Listen,
not
you can
true.
get workarounds. When I'm talking about just the storefront on Steam, it's $60,
Is
right?
it?
Yeah,
I didn't know
but
that. I really didn't know that.
everybody
I don't
doesn't
game
buy
on
their
PC.
games on Steam. We use GOG, we use Green Man Gaming, we use
Listen,
CD
I get it.
keys.
Some people use
and they're
different
way
things for
cheaper,
PCs,
so.
and I get it. They are cheaper, but also Steam sales are pretty good, and console has come up real
Console
big
sales
with
are
their sales
just as
also.
good. Yeah, now.
Like that's the thing. Yeah, they're just as good now, and that's what I'm saying is that people need to relax. The reason why it's 50 is because it's an old game. That's why, and they're infiltrating that market now with that price tag. That's what they're doing. People are going to play God of War on PC and be like, "Fuck," and then God of War 2 is going to come out and they're going to be like, "I need to play it." Well,
They're like, fuck God of War. I'm going back to genital jousting.
I don't understand this
though,
though.
Zocker, because I did not know that. I don't game on PC, so I did not know that Steam has the same prices.
Yeah.
What I don't understand
know
though is Sony fans, they're always talking about graphics and how they want Sony to push to the next level. Well, this is how Sony pushes to the next level, releasing their games on PC. Just imagine what they could do with a 3090, okay? And that'll trickle down to the PlayStation 5. Like, it's just a good thing, man.
Anyway, let me do a good thing and move the fuck forward.
let's do it.
Everyone's on this fucking common sense ass day and date shit.
Hey, dealer, I said I was going to say back in my day, I played games on PC that you had to buy physically in store.
I had to go to the store and put clothes
10
on.
discs. I remember
Oh, my
GTA was like
gosh.
10 discs, man.
10 discs.
It was a lot of discs. It was a lot of discs.
Well, that's what y'all get.
World of
D-batch.
Warcraft was 4,
World of Warcraft.
5
World
years.
of Nerdcraft. Which one of y'all in the chat play World of Nerdcraft?
Me.
And why ain't they bring that trash to console yet? Not enough buttons, probably.
Don't. It's crack. We don't.
They
need
have
it.
a mod for controller actually, and it works really well. But
I don't
know why
believe
they
that.
don't
Saved
have
my
it.
life. Fuck, mods, like controller mods, unsupported officially anyway. I remember I got Mass Effect on the PC, like back, I don't know how many years ago
Blizzard
to try it out, and there
so
wasn't even
bad.
controller support on it. It was so bad.
Dude, Blizzard turned into kind of like Nintendo. Like, nope, don't do that. Don't do that. So like the mods work actually really well on WoW, but they stopped it. Like the people wanted a classic, and there were servers on there with classic WoW. that was
They
really
took 'em
well
down.
done, and they took them down. And then they were like, we were releasing our own classic, and it was like trash.
Classic assholes. Mikey Bar, take the reins. Hey, Dying Light 2 Twitter account single-handedly makes me want to buy the game by tweeting out to a fan who does ask about a 60 FPS upgrade patch for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X for Dying Light 2. And he says, are y'all going to charge for this upgrade or anything like that? And Dying Light 2 Twitter account says, who the hell's going to charge for a 60 FPS patch? Basically slapping the fuck out of everybody who defends this shit because they know how easy these are developers. They know how easy it is to patch up a game's frame rate by effectively halving the resolution in most cases, and how much work really goes into that. So these guys are saying, who the hell would charge you for a 60 FPS patch? Remember Wreckfest, they gave it to people for free. Yeah, it takes, a little bit of time to go in and actually do, at least when it comes to going and hitting the buttons and making it happen. But at the same time, guys, Dying Light 2 is going to be 60 FPS on the consoles. I'm sure it's going to look great, and I just got to give those guys props real quick for coming out on Twitter and just at least speaking up instead of speaking for greed.
Let me jump in there real quick. One of the enemies in the gameplay you're showing belly flopped on you, and you like ragdolled off the map.
That's why I laughed.
Yeah, that's why I laughed. You were like, just flew off.
I didn't even see it.
Oh god, it's funny as shit.
Yeah, I mean, Guardians again. Like this is the very, very beginning of the game, and if you're watching it, you got to hear the banter stuff. Like this game is so long too, compared to what I thought it would be. I've already got like 15 hours in it. Apparently, I'm only halfway, but I'm taking my fucking time. All right. Plus, I've got other obligations. If you see me on Xbox Live, you know what I'm playing. They actually revealed that, so I guess we can say it now. Like obviously, if they're showing that we're playing Forza Horizon 5 online, which apparently they gave more codes out for this one than any other Xbox game, we would have gotten it. But I mean, still, like that's something that I've been playing, and it's been hard kind of wanting to play Guardians at the same time. But Horizon 5, always going to be a treat to play something like that. So again, we are going to get back into this stuff. Shout out to the chat. Dying Light 2 doing the right thing. I do believe. Let us know what your thoughts are on that. Spooky Sprocket, shout out to you real quick. He says, Devs be out here on Twitter in the Twitter world. He says, treating it like Battlefield with all of the dumb fools and their dumb foolishness. Yeah, I mean, it's it's a minefield out there, man. You got to be careful. And then we got, you can help me get through a few of these Fonz. That'd be great because there's a lot.
I don't see any of them. I don't see any.
Scroll up in the chat, Fonz.
Yeah, I the only one I see is KY Bob.
Okay, read his out.
KY Bob says Philly Spencer has brought to fruition the vision that Billy Gates had for the DirectX box back in 2000.
He's trying his hardest to trip us up.
One seamless platform with multiple devices.
Yeah.
Shout out to KY Bob and then Power Man 4K.
Ecosystem. Again, that ecosystem that Xbox has. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Power Man 4K says shout out to the panel. He says Guardians, my personal game of the year so far. Guardians is fire. And then one more for now, Cali 4. He does say, or Cali 486, shout out to you, brother. He says Sarabon also runs GEO, gaming ecosystem organization at Xbox. That's why she is spearheading this whole Sega partnership. Yeah, I mean, that's good to know. Tim Dog, where were you on that one, huh? Callie had you up on that one.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that?
Yeah, I think so. Shout out to you, Callie. I'm just fucking with them.
We did.
I'm just fucking with them. But yeah, I'll come back to some more of these guys. Thank you so much. Let's move forward in the topics here. We do go from Dying Light, a state of play, to Sony PC, to Dying Light, Now to one that I really want to talk about, Digital Foundry. They's talking about Halo, and apparently everybody there's got cataracts.
I watched it today.
Now, it was, like I said, Alex Vitale. I've always defended Alex, and I like he's pretty reasonable. But we need to get that motherfucker an appointment at LensCrafters, you hear? Because...
I got a question about it.
Listen, here's what he did. And I'm really surprised that Digital Foundry are bringing up any opinions about what could look better after a showing of a game, after what they did with Spider-Man. Go back and look at the debut of Spider-Man gameplay. These motherfuckers on Twitter still deny this to this day. Go and look at the side-by-sides, but they're puddles, but they're shut the fuck up. The first showing looked better in more than one way, and they came out with a glowing thing about Spider-Man and said that it looked better afterwards, when it clearly does not. And Digital Foundry, John from there basically said this in his video, it looks better now. No, it doesn't. And I'm surprised that they're bringing up Halo after saying it's all about creative vision and what the developer wanted. Now, according to Digital Foundry, some parts of Halo Infinite look worse. And I'm like, what the fuck? We're fucking around with the fucking in-engine stuff and this and that. But the point is the game looks better. That's irrefutable. All right.
I got a question about that. Because Alex said that the cinematics definitely look better, but he was talking about the
they're
gameplay
all in game,
worse.
like they're not.
And so here's the thing, though. The one thing I can't understand is what the fuck was he looking at? Because
I don't know.
From my eyes, like, look, maybe my eyes have gotten older. I do wear some glasses at times, and with my glasses on or off, I could definitely tell a big difference between last year's showing and this year's showing in the gameplay. It looks miles better. But we talked about it. The lighting, the textures, everything looks better. The animations are pretty much the same. So what is he seeing? I need context here, Alex.
I think he's going from a technical standpoint. The way
technically he's wrong too. I don't give a fuck.
I think he's talking about more the animations.
They don't look worse than the animations though.
They look the same. They look exactly the same. I think he was expecting more out of the art.
But he said it looks worse. D. There's no get. You're trying to defend this man, right? Normally I do defend this man.
No, I think he's focusing on the technical stuff, because there was some shit that I saw that's just awful.
But he's saying that it looks worse.
No. Let me say my point. Hold on, man. Listen, overall, I've said it. The game looks better. Like the characters look better. It's sharper. It's a more clean image. I said before I don't like the animations, and I still don't like the animations.
None of us care for the animations.
I think he's focusing on the stuff like the reload animations. I think he's focusing on the particles, like
look, D, everything that you say makes sense. Everything you say makes sense, right? But he's saying the game looks worse in some ways, meaning it's all the same stuff he's seen twice. He's seen it before. Yep. He's comparing A to B. He's saying this picture looks worse than this picture, or this thing about this game looks worse than this thing. They're the same thing from both, but it's gotten worse now than it was.
Yeah, you notice,
I'm with Fonz here. I think we're going to need some context. I think he's going to need to release a video to
when he said
point it out.
That, Richard didn't agree with him, didn't even say, oh, yeah, you're right, it looks worse. Nobody agreed with that. So I need context.
That's why I'm defending. That's why I usually defend Alex, and I'm like, "What's going on, buddy?"
The only thing that I could think of is, like I said, the reload animation, and when they dropped that fucking that vehicle and the sparks were like going at like 10 FPS. That was really bad.
But we didn't see that before. We didn't see that before in 2020. So how could it be worse?
I don't know. That's the only thing I could see him like being really annoyed with technically. So I don't know.
We were all annoyed with certain things like that. We talked about it before, but we didn't see that a year ago. So we can't say that it's worse now. That's my point.
With my eyes, overall, it's a better showing than the originals.
Chat, let us know how bad the cataracts are. And if you got cataracts, man, our hearts go out to you. Shout out to almost 1350 watching now. We're getting up closer to 1400 watching the show. We do appreciate everything you do. Hit the like button. Consider maybe subscribing. And, of course, share it with a buddy or two. Tell a friend that Digital Foundry doesn't agree with that. No, I don't know exactly who agreed with what or who said what. Admittedly, context is important. But when you say there are, and I did see this 100%, when you say there are aspects of this game that look worse than they did a year ago.
Facts.
That's it's hard to take that out of context. Like, it is a thing that was said, and I can't say that about any part of this game. I understand that if you zoom in on a grunt's nipple from 3 miles away, it's running at 15 frames per second. But right now, I don't know what specifically somebody in the chat probably already knows. Please let us know.
Get those nipples
Somebody
at
needs
60
to
FPS.
hit him up,
Pierce the 60
honestly,
FPS
and
nipples.
Somebody needs to ask him for context and show us, like, even if it's
Yeah.
on Twitter, show us what he's talking
But
about.
anything
looks
that he could
worse.
possibly argue to me is creative vision.
So I don't know. The lighting, the textures.
But we
all
had
of
guys
it.
on Twitter saying, well,
I wanna
Digital
say-
Foundry said this, so I, as a grown man, now have to think this.
No, I want them to
Exactly.
present it. Do a video, present what you saw that was, worse than the first, and prove your argument. But just coming out and saying it, not pointing it out, I don't know. Because like I said, to me, it looks better. Apart from those fucking sparks, those looked awful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my whole take on it is that everyone's entitled to an opinion. Obviously, I don't agree with him. I think that consensus shows that the game looked 100 times better or markedly better. General, the way it was received. And he even said that as well. He says, well, I mean, I see all these people saying it looks so much better. And people did say that, and you look at the views just from YouTube and from Halo channel, from YouTube channel, they're way up. There's much more likes. The comments are much more positive. So to say it looks worse is kind of a stretch. But I will give him a benefit of the doubt and see what he says in his video. He also kept referring to that. He's like, in my video, which I discussed about how I can make it better. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he thinks that he can make the game look better. I think, I remember him sitting in front of a fireplace saying there was no way that Xbox would have a 12 teraflop RDNA 2 form factor for a console. So
Typical PC, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. He's definitely a big PC guy, and I do like Alex. So
Me too.
From there, I'll wait and see if they make a video. And he did say that they are making a video, so I'm gonna see what they say.
Yeah, we really need to say that, but I don't give a fuck what his video says, what he shows. I'm sorry, Alex. He's one of the few guys there I really do like. But on this one, I gotta say I do not agree. I feel like that's common sense. I feel like you're on the wrong side of history on this one for once. And it's not a big deal. It's video games, but I just was kind of really surprised when the more logical one there did say something like this. And there's got to be some interesting context there. I won the bet with Rocket, by the way. I got the achievement. Fuck you, Zucker. I know you didn't get this. You didn't get this shit.
Maybe John was afraid to say it. I don't know.
Zucker, did you get the achievement for winning the bet with Zucker, with Rocket?
No.
I did.
I got it. I got it, chat.
I got it.
I won the bet.
I beat the fuck out of him. I started shooting Rocket, actually.
It's kind of funny how he hacks your visor. He's like, all right, let's bet 50 credits. But let me go ahead and give another shout out to Lord Starkiller. He says ponies are only focusing on hardware sales this generation. So he's talking about the UK thing, I think. They're not actually talking about xCloud, which will allow so many people to be able to play in the ecosystem as well. Their own CFO or CEO said that hardware is not being utilized. It's basically useless. It's all about active numbers and all this stuff anyway. So you are 100% correct, sir. Meat Puppet.
So, I didn't see it, but did anybody run with this whole Alex video today and say, oh look, it's worse. It's confirmed. Digital Foundry said so. And
yeah,
that's weird.
Saying that Halo 4 looks better.
Okay, here's the thing. That's wrong. It doesn't look better, but I did like the art style in Halo 4. I did. Hello?
Yeah, anybody running with that as fact, letting the grown man tell you what looks better, even though you probably think it looks better now than it did a year ago, and you're lying to yourself because someone else said so.
Well, that's kind of, Kid Smooth. Shout out to Kid Smooth. He put out a tweet. He's like, I don't understand how, you have all this praise and everyone's in agreement and this and that for the most part, and then Alex comes out, and then the same people. And there were like, oh, well, I didn't like that too. And, they changed their opinion just because another guy says, like his opinion is way above yours. You do have eyes and you do have,
That's like when they told us Guardians looked bad, or when they were talking about 1080p. It's like, hey, we know what resolution it's running at, but it's also got some fantastic TA on it, I'm guessing, and it looks fucking amazing at 60 FPS. Even though we know it's not optimized to the max, the 4K mode proves that on console.
Right.
Yeah, this game is such a fucking treat to the eyes. I do not care about this.
I think people need to just fucking chill of the whole like. Listen, I like watching Digital Foundry stuff. I like how they kind of go deep dive into it. But again, when it starts getting used against people, that's when it's stupid, or just to like annoy people. That's when it's the dumbest shit ever. Like I put out a tweet, like I don't know how long ago, a couple of days, a week ago, whatever. I said counting fucking pixels and blades of grass and resolution isn't how you play fucking games. Like just play games and shut up. Like,
but
just shut up.
Then he's like, fuck all y'all, I have a 3090.
I'm just like, it's just dumb. Like, stop doing that. Just play the damn game. Play it and just enjoy it.
Look at that Groot. Look at that Groot outfit.
And respect
that's
himself.
all Digital Foundry does, though, is bring more ammo to the console war. That's
and
every video.
That's what blows my mind. Look, we're not ragging on Digital Foundry, but that does blow my mind when they talk on Twitter. I think it's mainly John about how the console war this and that, when he literally made a fuck ton of money perpetuating it. Anyway,
yeah.
Look at these cool outfits I got for little raccoon.
Ooh, you need the suit and sunglasses.
Ah, shit. Is that one of them?
Yeah,
I must not be that far. Noob Cybot says that state of play should have been an email. Fatality.
Bro, seriously.
Shout out to you, Noob Cybot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the things that, listen, I think that what happens to State of Play is the exact reason why we don't get Inside Xbox.
It's funny though, Tim. I mean, seriously, look at this, because somebody yelled at me, Tim, about the State of Play. They said, State of Play, what do you expect? And I go, well, we saw God of War before in State of Play. We saw Horizon Forbidden West in State of Play. What do you want me to be hyped about and not hyped about? It's State of Play, right?
But they can't show that every month.
No,
they ain't got no games for the rest of this year.
They said that there was going to be multi-plats, so I expected at least a AAA multi-plat.
Yeah, people were thinking Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
I was discussing that with two, and I was playing the devil's advocate. But yeah, listen. At the end of the day, if you're going to put out a show, you got to kind of. And I always said this with Inside Xbox too. You got to have some goods. You know what I mean? Unless if you don't, you're going to get totally demolished. And what happened to State of Play this last past week or whatever is exactly what happened to Inside Xbox when they didn't have any good. They didn't have anything good. It gets absolutely destroyed.
The Black Knight says, "Bugsnax, let's go."
People were talking about having I remember before the State of Play happened, I was like, nothing's going to be shown. That's what I thought. I was like, I just don't even care about the show. But people were like, well, no, I'm hearing, Gotham Knights gameplay might be there and all this other stuff. And I was just like, what?
Who said that?
Chill out. People on
people on
N4G, everywhere on Twitter, like forums, like they're like, we're hearing Gotham Knights, and they said third party, so it's got to be a big third party. It's like, whoa. And I was like, all right, and I just was like, oh, I can't wait to see the fallout of that one.
Hey, so Mr. Murder Mittens has a super chat regarding Halo there, Fonz. If you want to read it, that might answer a question or two.
It was something to do with the lighting didn't go in the direction he would have thought. Models hadn't changed other than the textures, generic.
Right, and he kept referring to his video.
So he didn't like the aesthetic, like the older Halo aesthetic?
Well, I don't know. I kind of felt like when he kept saying that he's kind of, he kept referring to his video, and you know what? Screw your video. You know what I mean? Just use your eyes, and you can't say that looked worse.
No, you can't.
The lighting, the lighting was markedly better. Okay, so those the walls and everything, the textures out there, they were just very flat before, and now they came alive with that lighting.
Yeah,
it looks amazing to see the sun.
The lighting was the weak point of the previous showing, and
the draw distance and the level of detail on the textures too was much improved.
Definitely. Well, there were mountains this time, D-Batch.
From the left to the right and not from the right to the left. I don't know what he's talking
about.
Now,
these grunts are not marching in a left to right fashion, damn it.
Maybe he went after the design of the game, similar to what he actually has a lot of your concerns, Fonz, about the design of the game and how it's not linear. I think he presented. I think he presented that well, but I do feel like,
and I think. Sorry, and I think that's valid. I think it's valid, to be honest with you. But at the same time, we're not seeing the whole game. We don't know what other areas are going to be there and how diverse they are.
What are the odds, too, D? That's a good point. What are the odds that we've seen the coolest looking shit in the game?
I doubt it.
Never.
So that's what they were saying. They were saying that they're showing this map too much. It's the same map we played in multiplayer. This, pine forest map. We've seen it before. We keep seeing it. Why aren't they showing anything else? And they're speculating that maybe it's not as good or whatever.
So some fear mongering shit. Okay.
All right, stop. Like, maybe they're just showing it because they don't want to let everything out. They don't want to release all of it. They want us to have a sense of wow when we play the game.
Well, everyone was complaining, and I want to cap it with this because we got another one, but everyone was complaining about not seeing campaign, right? We wanted to see campaign, but some people were taking it far and really complaining and harping, and they showed it randomly. They're not fucking worried about what the second map in Halo looks like. They got 10 more of them shits, okay? Dark CMF says, fill in the blank, by the way. He's got a code in the chat. Shout out to him for the super chat, $15 super chat. Shout out to the three new channel members at Dark CMF says, hit the like button and fill in the blank. He's got some kind of either Game Pass or game code. It could be Guardians. Somebody redeem it and then let us know. Go ahead, D-Batch.
Yeah, as you close off, I just want to say there's a new map. I think I saw it yesterday. They unveiled a new map for Halo, and it did have like some buildings and some cities, like some new landscapes, some streets. So I'm gonna guess that maybe there's gonna be some level that's looks similar in the game. But overall, I don't think we've seen the best looking parts. There's gonna be some underground levels. There's gonna be different parts of that Halo that probably look different. I don't think the whole thing is just going to look like that. That would be pretty boring. So to assume that it's all going to look like that, I don't know. To be annoyed that that's all that they showed, sure.
I mean, look at their past maps, right? You've got, even in the flighting, you've had variation. You've had like a internal kind of industrious map. What was that? Like the inside of a ship or an installation. And then you had kind of the city urban map. And then you had the outer kind of wilderness map. So I feel like it's common sense, and this game has been in development for a while. They've gone and polished things above and beyond, so that means they're not going to be too short on content either. So let me give a shout out to Scrub Nurse, who says, started playing Guardians of the Galaxy. You were right, dealer. Such a fun game. Hit the like button. Yeah, I was on a podcast with Scrub Nurse. Shout out to him, man. He's funny. We were doing Gaming Beyond the Box on Wimmy's channel, and we talked about Guardians and some other stuff in depth. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to Don Otaku as well. He says, can't wait for cloud-based MMO Persona.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
There you go. Well, that's
those that like it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that's, not to go back on this subject, but that for me, that's really cool stuff. I mean, people complain that games do the same things over and over, and it's cookie cutter, and it's different shades of colors, and it's the same thing. The ability to do something different and to do something huge on grand scales. Like I said, watch the Stadia reveal video and you'll see, they talk about 1,000-player multiplayer maps, obviously cloud destruction and all this type of stuff that could be done. That stuff should be cherished and looked to be done, because if you can change the way we play games and make things different and give new ideas, that's a great thing. I think that's kind of what we need. So I'm excited about stuff like that, or the next Fantasy Online, what that could be, a big, huge game in the cloud.
Definitely.
Can I say something real quick about that? The fucking Halo map. Really, people complained about that. We saw too much of it. Do they? Do people not?
I'm bored.
Hold on. First of all, can we say that? I have a feeling that it's going to be an open world game, but do we forget that a lot of the story campaign stuff might be a linear experience, right? Kind of like what at the beginning of Metro Exodus, you had a linear experience that looked fucking stunning, and then it went into the open world, and you did a bunch of cool stuff. So, we haven't seen anything from the story.
Who told you about that, Zucker? I know you didn't make it that far, you bastard.
You bitch, I made it past the snow map, and then I got bored.
You gotta play it again, bro. You gotta play it on Series X at 60 FPS.
I know.
Zucker, you're 100% right. I don't want to see everything. I don't.
And we're not.
Like,
you don't? You want the game
people
spoiled?
that are sitting there. I've seen people saying this on Twitter, saying like, "I want to see a beach scene. I want to see this type of." And I'm like, I don't want to see anything.
I want to go to the beach.
I want to wait. I want to wait.
I want to go to the massage parlor as Master Chief.
Stuff. I'm kind of glad they just showed the pine tree map. Honestly.
Anyway, they're not done showing stuff. For one.
Nope.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny that Digital Foundry and these guys are complaining because I got an email a couple days ago that I'm pretty happy with. You know, not 100% certain what's going on there. But, you know, hey, they're not done showing Halo, okay? So everybody calm down. Put down your mimosas and go to the beach with Master Chief. They want to go to the beach, Fonz. They really complained about that?
Yeah, I mean, they're not complaining about all we've seen is a beach scene with, Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh,
but,
shit.
They're not complaining about that.
Just one other point too, and I thought this was stupid on their part. Yeah, they showed some of the same scenes because they knew people wanted to be comparative to what was shown.
Yep.
So yeah, they showed some of the stuff, and it looked better what they showed than previous. So
It'll look better after I go to Lens Crafters.
You know, I don't know. So it's just silly, and people got to stop using like they use them as a weapon, to utilize it. That once they say it's the point is made and that you can't go back. No, in this case, no. The game definitely does look better. It does not look worse. I don't care what crack you're smoking. You know,
What the fuck?
Damn.
From mimosas to crack.
Obvious. And I think that the public reaction says it all. I mean, you just look at the comments on the first video when they got killed on, and then just look at the comments on the one that they just showed a week ago, and there's a huge difference.
It's like the people that shit on Psychonauts and the way it looked, but defended Bugsnax and its creative art style.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we're defending Halo against, so I don't think Master Chief needs no more help. We're just there getting in the way. He's like kicking us out of the fucking way and shit. You know, so, it's not too much. It's not much of an opposition over there, obviously. But yeah, Digital Foundry smoking crack. Let's go ahead and move forward. The unspoken trailer was actually a topic. I wanted to mention that, but since you mentioned it in the chat, it was really good. I just want to say that. Go to Xbox YouTube channel after the show, of course, and recommend RDX to all the people there. And tell them to watch the rest of the trailer when you're done, because it's actually really good. Acting and all that stuff. Like I had a box of Kleenexes and some crying towels, and it was just really well done. Shut up, Zucker. Hey, Zucker, what do you think about the new...
You knew I was about to say something about that Kleenex remark.
Yeah,
I was like, really?
I know.
You're like, shut up, Zucker.
Hey, what do you think about the new Xbox games coming to Game Pass? There's some good ones here, and I got to start off with the list, right? We give context. But you guys in the chat, if you haven't played some of these, you're really in for a treat. But they've got Forza Horizon 5, some treats, Fonz, like the kind you eat when your dog's not looking, you steal the dog treats.
Yay!
I said when your dog's not looking, implying you're stealing your dog's treats and eating them, okay? I said Forza Horizon 5 comes out on the 9th. I think it comes out earlier for the premium edition. And then you got GTA San Andreas. You've got It Takes Two. You got Football Manager. You got Catch Shit on Fire as a Spider, some shit, and some other stuff no one cares about. But here is the gem of this group, okay? Aside from Horizon 5, okay? Because it's Horizon 5. It Takes Two.
Yep.
One of the best games of the year, easily. Crushes most everything almost, except for Guardians and maybe some other stuff.
You got to play that with a friend, though, don't you?
Ah, shit. I ain't got no friends.
Damn it.
Well, if you can pay someone to play it with you, it's worth it, bro.
Pay someone to play it.
You've been saying this for the longest time, too.
Bro, It Takes Two. Tim, have you played it?
No, but you wouldn't shut up about it.
I won't.
It gotta go to Game Pass. They gotta go to Game Pass, but you got your wish.
No, I didn't say they gotta go to Game Pass. I told motherfuckers to buy the shit. It's worth owning.
Yes, you did, but you said this would be a perfect game for Game Pass.
Yeah.
This game is awesome. And I listen, I noticed it right away. I thought about you. I'm like, holy shit. And not just you. There's a lot of people saying this is their game of the year. So for them to drop that on such a freaking strong month,
it is.
Man,
it's one of the
Xbox,
strongest.
Game Pass is absolutely crazy.
And what's the list?
It Takes Two is honestly one of the for me before Guardians. It was my game of the year. I played it with my girl, and I've never laughed so much because I would just talk shit to her. Like she would miss shots, and I'm like, "Can you aim?"
But even aside from hazing your girlfriend, like the mechanics,
it's fucking great.
The mechanics, and it's like 10 games in one.
It is.
That's great for. It's great for Xbox reading that list, but we've got PlayStation dudes in the chat, so read the list for PlayStation this holiday.
Bugsnax DLC. Is that this holiday, or did they push that back?
Damn. Oh.
Well, hey.
I think that's it.
Shout out to all the guys in coffins in the chat.
All right.
Game Pass is a nice service, PlayStation guys. You want to get yourself a Series S. It's a cool little box, and go ahead and come on over and $10 a month. Y'all never really bought games anyway. Y'all are famous for renting them, so you can rent some on Game Pass.
Dealer, shut up. They don't need that. They have a powerhouse PC. We know this now, right?
Shit.
Like they all had one, so they're playing Game Pass through there. We know this. They've always had a PC.
Look, there's 30 million of y'all motherfuckers. Some of y'all are Sony guys.
one of the things too, and a lot of people have been asking for it, and actually very pissed off about it. They got Minecraft on PC. That's also now on Game Pass. That was part of November too.
Set everything on fire as a spider, right? What's that one called?
Blow up everything, whatever. But no, this month has been huge, and it was actually trending all day about Game Pass, partially because of Sarah Bond's comments, which was basically that they noticed through the numbers that people who play a game, like if they play a game, a puzzle game, and they never played a puzzle game, they're like 40% chance to buy a game after that's a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
If you get some of the comments of Sarah's today, she made the comments today.
I don't think that was today, Tim. I think that was like a year or two ago.
Whatever it was very good though. It made a lot of points.
It was probably even more so now.
She said that in Game Pass, if let's say there's a new game that you've never played before, call it a puzzler. She said 60% of people that downloaded that game are new to puzzler games, and then 40% out of that 60% would go and buy a puzzler game outside of the puzzler game, like another puzzler game
outside of the service.
So that's like 100% more engagement for the genre.
So basically, saying that Game Pass, and she talked about it, how that people said it was going to kill devalue gaming, it's going to kill this and that, and they saw the exact opposite. And basically, Game Pass, if anything, is an amplifier for games, and it's true. Some of the games, like I talked about it all the time. Hades, a game that I would have never played, I would have never bought. Even Yakuza, I don't think I would have bought Yakuza. Even
I just realized why I'm shooting at this, Tim. I'm sorry, it's just a thought. I just realized why I'm shooting at this thing in this gameplay, and I can't get to it. There's a new game plus mode with this game, and I think you need Gamora or something. This thing is lighting up over here, Zucker. Like I could fucking destroy it, but I can't.
Hey, dealer, I'm reading through this list of PlayStation games coming this year, and it's all multiplats, I think, unless Bassmaster Fishing is exclusive, and I doubt it.
Is it Assmaster Fishing or Bassmaster?
It's Bassmaster Fishing.
Yeah, that's exclusive.
I don't think nothing.
That's the DLC, Assmaster.
I don't even see Bugsnax DLC this year. Man.
Look, people, that's why you watch RDX, all right? Assmaster Fishing. Hashtag Assmaster Fishing.
PS4 exclusive DLC.
DLC. Oh. This game got butt cheeks, right?
Game Pass was trending all week. Like even Halo is still trending. we talked about it. Like it's so crazy. So I'm excited to see this holiday. It's really getting close to where we can play these games, and I can't wait.
Yeah. Wait till that Forza Horizon 5 review comes out, man. You're gonna see some people in tears.
There's nothing to wait for. There's games out there right now to play. If people haven't played Psychonauts 2, play that in Game Pass. It's so good.
Yeah, I gotta say though,
Guardians of the Galaxy, great.
Forza Horizon 5 GTA San Andreas. Even though I'm not that interested in it because it's in Game Pass, I'm gonna play it, and
I'm gonna try it.
I know a ton of people are gonna play it as well. We got of course Halo. Like it's just gonna be a great season for Xbox gamers, man. Honestly.
And I think Aaron also pointed this out, and it's also really good. People are like $100 to play the game early. No, if you're a Game Pass,
$50.
So I think it's $45, 50 with taxes.
Canada prices here.
Just get the DLC, and you can have early access.
Is that what they're saying? $100 to play the game early when they know damn well every game has an expensive version with a few days early access? Like, smack the shit out of yourself.
Yeah, they did some weird,
stupid math. No one should ever teach their kids. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Luna. They cracked the fucking ceiling on what's possible in terms of stupidity. All of you who did it, smack yourselves. Stick your face up to the TV screen.
They've touched it. They have not touched the surface yet. Come on, man.
No, this is. You know what? You're right, D. Thanks for lowering my hope for humanity. I do appreciate it. Mr. Meat Puppet, by the way, he says Golden Sun was originally on Game Gear. RDX is the best. Shout out to you, brother. Do appreciate it. KY Bob said, I think that's the one. Yeah, I think that's the one you read a while back, Fonz. Danny Passion once again does say, D, stop defending. He was clear. Check the video. D Bash is giving his perspective.
I want to, on no honesty, like I said, I think it looks better. I could, if he's talking about like some of the effects, sure. I want this. He needs to clarify. He needs to put it in context what he's talking about. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until he produces what it is that he's talking about before I give my final like opinion on his opinion. But at the end of the day, it's an opinion, and he's entitled to have his opinion.
D. Now, did they have sparks in the initial, when they showed it? The first trailer?
No, they didn't, but they had some other animations that weren't running properly, right? So, but that I honestly that I hope they clear that up because the sparks.
That's a doozy.
Yeah.
The Digital Foundry's his opinion. That's a doozy. That's what I mean. So that's one of the few things that's not really debatable. The game looks better, and that's why it's almost unanimous, except for frauds on Twitter that like to try to use someone else's opinion as the reason why everyone should think different. But hey, shout out to Lord Starkiller. He says Alex and Digital Foundry needs to do a pair of glasses. Again, shout out to Alex. I always defend that motherfucker, but this time I can't. I'm hiding in the bushes. All right. He says any game would look better, much different at 400% zoom. Did they do that too? Shout out to Space Dova King. He says the Ponyverse, the Ponyverse would meta and created its own reality. Yes, that's what happened. Hargeet says, could Alex suffer from pony vision? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just look at Craig alone. Craig alone got a major update. He's now sporting a nice beard. He looks a lot meaner and cooler. He looks like he's ready to hit the town.
Remember when they showed off Last of Us 2 in engine, right? But it was obviously not with the game. Really, and everyone was bragging about how good Last of Us 2 looked. But then when we bring up Craig, they're like, that's an engine, but it's not like exactly like in the game.
I don't
Hypocrites.
care I don't care what anybody says. Last of Us 2, hey, it was a fantastic looking game.
Looked amazing too.
I'm not going to say anything that it looked horrible. It did not. It was one of the best looking games I've ever seen. But it would be disingenuous, just straight out lying to say that it looked like the original footage that they showed. It clearly did not look like that. So, but when Sony does it, nobody says anything.
Well, they were using screenshots from that to see how Last of Us looks so good. And Last of Us is one of the best looking games of all time. Like I was blown away by the way that game looked, like in awe, right?
But at the same time, it's a different type of game. It's very linear. It's not open world like Halo is, and it's just not the same type of game. You can't compare it.
Let's not even go there. I don't even want to get into the Last of Us bullshit marketing that they did with the Joel coming behind her and being like, "You think I'll let you do this alone?" Little that, he did. He died.
Spoilers, bitch.
That's what they did. That's what they did. They like completely manipulated the marketing to think that you and Joel were gonna fucking.
You're gonna watch his kneecaps get blown off.
Yeah, stand in the middle of a room around a bunch of strangers, not his back to the wall like a survivor would. No, he's
like a rat just hissing at him from the corner.
I hate it, dude. I hate it, bro.
Exactly how you feel there. I gotta be honest. That's how I felt about the last Halo. Fucking pissed me off, man.
Master Chief gotta push all these buttons. His fingers in the shape of L by the end.
Listen, at the story, people have been asking the story, and I look back. I finished that game twice. The story on Halo 5 was absolutely horrendous. It just seemed like Cortana was on a period the whole time. I don't know what the fuck? But no, I mean,
Tim Dog's opinion is not representative of RDX.
I'm just joking about that. But no, Cortana was Cortana was just like super weird, and I don't know, maybe it's a lead up, but it was just the whole story overall was just really bad. And I believe that Bonnie and even said it, that they're gonna make it a point to fix the story, and they gotta fix the story, and I think that they're gonna really have a big effort for that.
And your window to play Halo Wars 2, the game before this one technically, is really narrowing. Like, you need to go play Halo Wars 2 because that's where the Banished come from, Atriox, all that stuff. And it's one of the best Halo stories there are with those pre-rendered cinematics from Blur.
Yeah, those cinematics are freaking insane, man. They're so epic.
Those are like literal CG, like fucking.
Yeah. They're it's like high quality storytelling. And once I saw that the Banished were going to be the Halo Infinite, like the main guys there, I was like, oh hell yeah, because Halo Wars 2 is so good. Like, people need to go check that damn game out. Not even a joke.
Even if you don't want to play it, you can watch the game.
Shut up, Tim. They need to go play it.
Well, no, I mean, some people just an RTS to just.
Expand your horizons, plebs. Come on, play an RTS. It's not hard.
If you can't do it, I still recommend just watch there is a portion where you can watch the whole story.
I'm trying to bring the genre back, Tim.
The story is absolutely great.
You're right. You can watch it in 4K on YouTube, but you could see it natively and play it and get achievements in person on Game Pass. FPS boost.
It's a great game. If people want to open their horizons and try
it's on Game Pass.
Yes, it's on Game Pass. I love it.
And it's FPS boosted. It runs the 60 FPS and everything. Enjoy.
It's on xCloud too.
It sure is. Play it on your cellular device. But let me, if anybody else wants to find some of these super chats and help me bang these out, that'd be great.
They're gone. I can't see the old ones. I'm trying to keep them.
Yeah, that's why it's always challenging to do this stuff too.
Lord Starkiller. Some ponies will continue to say Xbox has no exclusive games because Forza Horizon 5 and Infinite will be on console and PC. What the fuck?
Shout out to Lord Starkiller.
Hargy. Go ahead.
Hargy says, so we're saying that Xbox can now put together a show and PlayStation can't? I don't know, man. The state of play was church is trash.
I got Lord Starkiller here who says Game Pass equals best value and service in gaming. PS Now equals ?
Questionable.
Yeah, and then we have Xbox Obi also. Obi, aka the guy that thinks the flying in Avengers is better than Anthem.
Stop it.
He says always remember to hardware accelerate your PC with a running emoji.
Yeah, he was like, I've been making videos on Premiere without hardware acceleration on this whole time. Thanks. I'm like, you're an idiot.
Yep. That's he told me some things eating up my CPU. I was like, go to your task manager and see what's eating it up. He's like, what's that? I'm like, oh, god damn it, Obi.
He's like, for some reason, I got 133 programs starting up when I boot my computer up.
He had like 80,000 tabs in Google Chrome.
Is that good? Shout out to Obi. God. Shout out to Peter Rios. Shout out to Rob Jones. He says, I actually caught a live stream dealer early in the morning here in the UK. A great panel as always, and chat too. Fire emoji. Shout out to you, brother. Thanks for joining us and having insomnia. I know it's late over there, Rob, so we do appreciate you. Then we got Kendrick Star. Shout out to you. He says, I haven't played Guardians, but that game looks plain as F. Shoot a bit and dodge. No, sir. This is the mistake so many people make with Guardians. And I say this with some tough love, Kendrick. This game, the combat, is actually really fucking good. Because you're not just playing as Peter Quill, as Drax would say. You're playing as everybody, but you're quick firing their attacks of your choice with left bumper and a face button. And you didn't get to see all that. I only did the first hour because I don't want you to see later in the game. So trust me, the combat gets some. And Fonz, I want you to talk on this before the show because your ass was complaining about this, and you came and saw like exactly how this comes together, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So Kendrick says the game looks plain because the combat is move, shoot. Obviously, the combat's deeper than that when it comes down to it.
It's more intricate than that. There's different abilities. There's stagger. There's damage. There's
using other
elemental
guardians.
abilities. There's different variations of bullets in your weapon, and then you've got you can fly. And you got to control each of your team members and control their abilities. They've each got 3, I believe, and then an ultimate. So there's a lot of you have to keep track of it as you're playing. It's confusing at first. Well, for me it was because the game doesn't hold your hand. But once you learn the combat, it's fun, man.
You look down and there's like a gust of wind next to your hand, and it's cold as fuck. Where is it? No, it's holding my hand.
You can see Fonz when he was doing the combat, he was playing it, but he was having a little bit of a hard time. Then once he got a hang of it, he was like, "Oh, dude, the game opened up so much more for him." And that's what I like because there's more than just the stagger, right? Like there's the crowd control with Groot, there's the AOE with Rocket. There's a lot of stuff. Like there's
and
so
Drax
much
even
more
has
to the
like
game.
a AOE. They've all got different versions you can unlock too. So you can invest in whatever guardian you want and which manner you want by filling up those bars that pop up after combat. You may have seen them in this gameplay. That builds up a perk system that you can put on your guy or any of the other guardians. You can look through those, and then you find resources out in the world as you see me do. I'm fucking going and I'm skimming with a comb they use for headlights. I'm looking for resources to upgrade Peter's actual health and his abilities on other levels.
And that's just mechanics and stuff. But if you like the story and everything, it's really well told. Each story, each character has their own little story arc. You find out like where they came from, what they're trying to do in this whole world. And like each one of them is well acted. And honestly, this game is such a banger. When I first started playing it, it opened up with this scene, and I'm not going to give anything away, but it really seemed like a banger, man, like a Sony banger, even.
A Sony banger. The 71 days gone.
I got that same type of single player experience from it, and I gotta say, I was on the fence on the character design initially, but after playing the game, like the characters are so like it's them.
I switched it to the movie suits, like you see it in the footage. Like I got some of the movie characters with me.
Yeah, and the voice acting, the lip syncing, the facial animation, the character animation, the motion capture, just everything is impeccable, and it just feels like a Guardian of the Galaxy universe. Like it's just authentic, man, and it's such a good game. If you're on the fence on this game, go and get this game. If you like single player experiences, go and get this game. If you like to showcase graphics on your system or your PC, go and get this game. It's a definite banger.
Look, I got a cop for the game because for one, last week I didn't have the game, right? I had the code, I didn't redeem it yet, right? And I gave away another copy of this game. That's how much I like the game. I went from take it from me. I don't hype up a bunch of games. I'm fucking just like, hey, I like this. I'll wait for reviews or whatever. It's Sea of Thieves, right? This was a game. This kid with the little Sea of Thieves sword. This is a game that I was not excited for. I was actually annoyed that Square Enix was tasked with dealing this game out after Avengers, and I was just hoping that they didn't fuck it up. Did I harp on it? Did I hate on it? No. But did I internally say, man, I'm not sure about this. But some stupid part of me forgot that I do believe this is the Shadow of the Tomb Raider team that made this shit. And that's a good game. And even whatever may be the case, this is their A team now. That the old Crystal Dynamics, put them shits in the dumpster till their next game. Because right now, this team, and clip this and send it to developers, these guys are the A team, bar none, for Square Enix, and they should be tasked with the most funding and the most development time. After playing this shit and just being reminded of what's possible in 2021 with linear game experiences, this is a linear game that hits a mark. And I was telling us Lethal and Lupa in the party earlier. This is a game that hits a mark that I've not really felt in a game before. It's linear, but it has enough choices and decision making to not be. It's in a very narrow zone, but it's linear, but you don't feel like it is because there's possibilities. And my girl was playing this, right? And she was like, okay, and fucked something up real bad, right? In the part of the game, made a completely different choice. And then I watched her 20 minutes of shit that I never saw. Completely different puzzles, outcome, everything. And
I had a different one too.
It was, this is just one of those games that if you're on the fence, take it from me. Buy this shit. Fuck all the waiting. This is something you need to play. And if you're a fan of the franchise, this is a no worry. 1080p, whatever the fuck, I don't give a shit. It looks phenomenal on Series X at 60 FPS. Do that shit right now because you will thank me later, just like everyone else who's played this shit that's heard us talk about it. It's a great game.
Kind of reminds me of Jedi Fallen Order.
I like it more than Fallen Order. I love Fallen Order.
It's better. It's better.
I think it's
that's what I said last week.
If it reminds me of anything, at least from an experience, it's the first Mass Effect. I kind of get the same type of, good feeling from it. I want to know if anybody on the panel, without spoiling, I guess, it's just a little part. Anybody eject the llama?
No, D-Batch. We're not pure evil.
Hey,
and secondly, no spoiler.
The llama, don't talk about the llama. That's
the space llama.
Yeah.
Can I just say too this real quick? The game they hit that fine line between being something. This is where that magic is. It's the gameplay, I get it, but it's also the story and the characters. That's where that magic line is, where they kind of coincide with the movies, where people are known for the mass of it, but they also find that line with comic books. Like Drax the Destroyer is not like he's not like the goddamn Drax in the movies. I don't like the Drax in the movies. I like Batista as an actor, but the Drax there is just a joke and he laughs and he just does that. Drax doesn't do that in the comic book and all that, but like in the game, he's super serious and he's a deadpan guy, but he's also a badass. Like he fucks shit up, and then people are like impressed with him. They're like Drax the Destroyer. Like that's who he is. And for me, like the characters in the game are almost like better than the ones in the movie for me. Like if not better in some cases. So that's where it has that magic fine line, and I got to give props to the writers and then also the developers for making it, and it's just badass, man.
Yeah, I mean, and everyone that's really played it, like Scrub Nurse was in the chat earlier, Lupa, Lethal's like he's like on this game, like he couldn't stop playing it. It's just a really good game. So I honestly think that they did it right. There's no microtransactions. You find all the outfits exploring and stuff. I didn't think that'd be a rewarding experience finding those, but it really is. They've managed to do that. You can swap them anytime really quickly. And just playing it at a frame rate that is just amazing to finally get in these games on console. I think they already said they're bringing ray tracing later, right? Zaki?
What?
They already said they're bringing ray tracing later, right?
Yeah. The developer said before the game even came out that ray tracing will come to consoles in like very close to launch is what the director said, that they're working on it.
So you know how much performance right there that they just haven't even logged into? Like there's a lot of optimization that will hit this game, and right now people are giving it shit for 1080p, but I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter. Just play the game. The experience that's there to be had, like it's worth supporting. They did it the right way. Yeah. This is the stuff you go out and support from publishers.
Don't hold out for the ray tracing. Like I'll be honest, when the ray tracing comes, it's gonna tank the performance, man. It's hard on PC too.
People are talking about the 1080p so much, and it's funny because before Digital Foundry did their analysis, there were so many people glowing about how it looked on the PS5 and Series X. And then after Digital Foundry came out and said 1080p, then they started bashing on it, saying it's only 1080p. Look, the game at 1080p is one of the best looking games out there, period. Even at 1080p.
Exactly.
Because there's so much to the graphics other than resolution. And as others in the chat are saying, like you got Kay Asanti in the chat. What's up? He says, I'm on the last chapter and I'm trying not to finish it, but he's saying it's really good. It's one of the best Marvel games he's played. And he's right.
It's better than Spider-Man. I mean, and I love.
To me, it's better
really
than the first Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man. I think you gave Spider-Man a 7 or some shit. You didn't even care for it that much.
Better than the first Spider-Man.
But I like Spider-Man a lot. Like I beat it twice and went through and did all the side stuff the first time. I gave it like an 8.7. Right, I agree with the meta on that one. But this, to me, I don't know what the meta's at on this game, but so far, man, I would give this game like a fucking 9.3 or some shit. Like right I'm enjoying it right now at this particular point in my life much.
What is the meta? What is the meta?
I think Zalker said it's a 52.
I think somebody told me it was like a 70, high 70s. I'm not sure.
Let's check.
But
Check your. It's at an 80% on the PlayStation 5, 77 on PC, and 83 on Series X.
Xbox for the
I
win,
can't believe
bitch.
that. To me, honestly, it's a 9.
It's more. What the hell?
Yeah,
You see, that's why
y'all
everyone's
PC
opinion
gamers need to
is-
quit giving shit low scores, D-Batch.
Yeah, I don't know. Opinions, they matter so much. Everybody it's just like a.
And that's from 10 votes.
Everybody has
only.
one, right? But like, it's an opinion. I
Zocker, why'd you give it 5 stars on PC?
I mean, 5 out of 5. Yeah.
at the very least, it's an 8.5, man. At the very fucking least.
At the very least, it's just so well done. But anyways, this is I wanted to talk about it at some point, but definitely this is the best spot, I think, because for those that are really listening to really give a fuck, you're still here, and all that good stuff. So, did we miss any super chats here?
Not that I saw.
Murder Mittens, Fing Fang Foon. If you know, you know. Yeah, shout out to Murder Mittens. He knows what he's talking about.
Stop spoiling stuff, chat.
No one knows what that means. Fing Fang
No,
Foon.
If you're a comic book nerd, you know.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, yeah, don't read the chat, I guess. Yeah, Forza Horizon 5, you read that one from Lord Starkiller. Always remember the hard work, so you got that one from Obi. I think we pretty much got him. So, I mean, I'm feeling good about that. And don't forget, Dark CMF, he did give away a copy of something, a code for something in the chat. So, if anybody won that, let us know what it was. And shout out to almost 1,400 of you that joined us tonight, guys. You guys are awesome. Still 1,200 here. Listening to us talk about the shit. So, if you haven't checked out Guardians, I'm just saying, you got something, of course, we all got backlogs, but I would choose this over all of my backlog right now, except for a few exceptions. So, again, guys, let us know your thoughts on everything we talked about. We do appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and let us know your thoughts once more. Hit the like button if you haven't. Let's try to get closer to 1,000 for the end of the show. And subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a buddy as we do some outros, starting with xCloud Tim Dog. Buddy, what have you been playing? Where can people find you, man?
Actually, have had a bunch of days where I was supposed to play, and I got caught up over at my nephew's and slept over there. So I haven't really been playing much. I did buy Guardian of the Galaxy because of you guys and a lot of other people. Seems like it's going to be it's really good. People are saying it's their game of the year. So for me, it's been kind of not active. Hopefully this weekend I can get to that. And Forza 5 is Forza 5 this weekend.
Horizon.
If you get the early access, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And great show, and see you next week.
Definitely. Also, we got Fonzarelli, brother. How you been? What you been playing, and where can people find you?
Well, of course, I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy. It's awesome. Probably going to beat that game this week because, I'm very close.
It'll be a sad
two acts
day
away from beating it. Yeah, and I'm trying to push it back, but I also want to play it. So, like, I'm going to go back. I think I'm going to run through it a second time because your choices do actually matter. And like you said earlier, you can get different outcomes for certain things.
Well, different like sections and experiences, but I think the ultimate outcome might be the same.
Yeah, no, the ultimate outcome might be the same. Who knows? But yeah, man, I've been playing that, and other than that, I've been making videos. I made a video yesterday. If you haven't checked it out, please check that out at Fonzarelli Gaming here on YouTube. I talk about the Sega thing, the partnership, and also Guardians. Talk about Guardians and the hate after people, view Digital Foundry videos and then decide to hate on it after that. It's really weird. I don't understand it, but yeah, I made a video about it. Anyway,
Definitely
check it out.
And we are all for the best looking games possible, getting what you pay for from the hardware, but there's a reason 4K Minecraft don't look better than 900p rise. There's more to an image than resolution, and this game ain't even maxing out the hardware. The developers themselves fucking said that before launch.
I even spotlighted a few tweets that were just ridiculous, telling me to buy a PC rig and all this stuff. PC gamers are just really out there, and they're talking about how these consoles just aren't up to snuff. And
but on other games where Digital Foundry are extremely impressed by what they're getting out of it, they ignore the fact that power is there, but it's just not tapped on right now.
No, they don't even come out of the woodwork. They're hiding somewhere in the back of a
in the back of a windowless van. Let's just tell it how it is.
In the back of a 7-Eleven eating an old hot dog. Who knows?
The oldest one. Give me your oldest hot dog now.
Yeah, give me the old one. That one that's been turning on that thing for the last 2 days. But yeah,
One on the broken rotator.
It's really weird they stay quiet, though, whenever they do have a glowing review or something about the graphics on, or not a review, but Digital Foundry analysis when they're talking about graphics and stuff. But
Well,
yeah, it's really weird.
Now I question all the analysis after hearing Halo looks worse. I'm like, I don't know. Is it really look as good as they said now? Because they don't see the obvious here.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're having a little fun. Hey, let's give a shout out to D-Bash, brother. What have you been playing, and where can people find you, man?
The rest of the panel, I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy. Fantastic game. You can find me on Twitter at D_batch. Look out tomorrow. I'm going to have some information on Series X Halo Edition dropping. As well, you can find me on YouTube at DBatch. I'm back to putting out regular content, so that's good. Tomorrow morning, I should have up maybe around 9 a.m. Eastern or so. Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, it's in 4K, with all the bells and whistles. I recorded it with HDR, so I'm waiting for the HDR to resolve, so you'll get a good idea of how that game looks on PC. And the section that I chose will give you a good beat of the game. So, if you're still on the fence, watch that video tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure you're going to be sold on it. Was a great show. See you guys next week, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Sapo says it's in 1080p because they're using their own proprietary lighting system. That's not why it's in 1080p. The 4K mode proves that. The 4K mode has not only 4 times the resolution, easing drastically the GPU load on the game when they drop it to 1080p, but it also has more effects actually enabled. Now, if it's the same lighting system, it's more intensive effects on top of that. They're just not pushing the frames right now, either because they didn't want to go through and make sure every single thing was optimized for the higher, more intense frame fights later on. Yeah. It was definitely a resource or time issue, and the fact that they're going to add ray tracing on top of all this stuff proves that there's even more in there, or at least there's going to be another mode, and they may even optimize that resolution in the frame rate mode later on. So, it can be done. We've seen this stuff done before in the past. They go back and patch stuff. Time will tell, but it's definitely not 1080p because of that proprietary lighting system. When a 4K mode has the same damn thing, it just doesn't make any sense. There's so much more left on that GPU when you drop that res. But either way, Zalker, what have you been playing, buddy, and where can people find you?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter, Zalker87, YouTube, Zalker87, and I've been playing like everybody else, Guardians. I've been playing a lot of like Call of Duty Warzone, also some like Rocket League and a couple other things, but we'll keep.
It's literally on Xbox Live. Everyone can see we're playing Horizon 5. They dropped the screen. Like normally when we're playing something that's not out, it says we're on home, right? And you can't see. We can't even look at the achievements. We can see the one that pops up if we unlock it, but. Everyone can see right now we have Horizon 5 going on Xbox Live. Yeah, II space dealer space II. You can see we're playing it, right? And even playing it together in some cases. So I'm not really sure what they expect us to do in that point. Like it's out there. So you can say it. You're playing Horizon 5.
I'm never saying it.
Say it, bitch.
No, I just play, that, and then obviously I'm kind of waiting for Call of Duty. I know that game's been fucking forgotten, but I like the World War II genre, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm gonna wait for reviews. I'm not pre-ordering it. I'm gonna see how it goes, and then we'll see what's up.
Stop hating, Zalker.
I'm just saying.
That's what they say is hate these days. I'm just gonna wait for the reviews. I'm not hyped. You're a hater, bitch.
I think it's going to review terribly, but I'm hoping the campaign is good. And then
you're doing what I did to Guardians. You're a hater now.
Yeah.
I don't have any faith in this game, but we'll see. You're a hater. Anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, Guardians is amazing. Everybody needs to play it. So that's what I've been doing. And chat, thank you for being here. It was awesome. And I know we went off on a couple topics, but that's what we fucking do.
Yeah, what he said, but less intense. Shout out to Pong Soul Tryhard fan George Foreman himself, heavyweight champ, oldest heavyweight champ of all time. Then we've also got Hesikura, shout out to you, T Speedy 4, Boschmar Lethal Papa, Neil Cognito, Ashtray Gaming, shout out to you. We've also got Straight Duval. Shut up, Zalker. Straight Duval, only on Xbox. Mackay. I'm giving shout outs down the list here for those that are here at the end, especially Splendiferous, who is the super chat says the hot dog with all the wrinkles. So gross. And then we got Joe Jose Linares. I'm not sure, it doesn't matter. Like everyone in the chat, thanks for supporting the show, making it what it is. We do appreciate you. And of course, we're just here having a great time. We're all going to get out of here and go play some games, guys. Have a good night. I've been playing Horizon 5. Like I said, Xbox, not my fault. You unlocked it. I can't get in trouble for this stuff. And then Guardians when I can, right? Because there's a lot of content to get through in Horizon 5. And we have a certain amount of time to do it. First world problems, right? And then these games are big to me right now. So I've been cramming in the last week. This is what I've been playing, these two things, and haven't not had enough time. So I'm trying to find that. I'm going to build a time machine, and I'll let you all know how that goes out.
I'm getting messages on Xbox Live right now. People are like, I see what you're playing.
Zalker's playing on the podcast. Little bitch. All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's hiding offline for work purposes.
How dare you say it out loud?
Where his boss is going to disable his Xbox Live and finds out. Hey, we're going to go. We're going to go, guys. Thanks for checking us out. Of course, tell a buddy, hit the like button, subscribe, support these guys, and we'll see you in the next episode. That's why I haven't had a video, by the way. Playing these damn games when I had the time, and then hopefully we'll have one after my next one, which you'll know what it is. But anyways, we'll see you guys later. Peace.
All right, everybody.
Peace. Okay, hit the button.